This is the Transcend in Life podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson, taking you from fear to freedom.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Transcend in Life. This is a Tuesday tune-up with the Ryersons. I have my beautiful co-host, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I'm in the newly put-together office. We actually made it to Florida, so congrats.
Hey, woo! Yes, we are here. Very excited to be here.
You know what we're going to talk about today? This is very appropriate because I believe if you would just show a little more attitude of gratitude, perhaps you might enjoy the experience a little bit more, even though I realize there's some stresses. What do you think?
Okay.
So we're going to talk about having an attitude of gratitude, the benefits of gratitude, because there are significant ones, even if you don't want to hear that, or my wife, when I move her across the country, because that has been stressful, I understand, but this is a real thing. So one of the first things that it does is it really does make you smile. You can't help but smile when you think of some of the amazing things we have in life. So I guess that's where I'll start and just say, do you have a practice that you use? Because you know what we do as a family, and we can talk about that. But how about just for yourself? Do you do it in the mornings? What's kind of your philosophy on this idea?
Yes. So in the mornings, I do have my routine. It makes me very happy to play my brain games in the morning and things of that nature. And a lot of times if I get, if the stresses start coming throughout the day, I do stop myself and go, you know what? I need to figure out or list all the things that I am grateful for and all the blessings that we do have. And actually a great example was I was talking to a newly appointed agent today, and super peppy lady. She was awesome. We were chatting it up, and I was telling her, she goes, well, it's kind of echoey where you're at. And I said, oh yeah, everybody says that because if I'm talking to someone in my home, we don't have furniture, right? We have some furniture. So I was kind of joking. I was telling her, I go, I have 10 dining room chairs, but no dining table, right? And so we're laughing about it. And it's been a pretty stressful few months because, I joke about it. We've been squatters. We've squatted in our last house because we sold all of our furniture. And now we're kind of squatting in our new house because the furniture isn't here yet. And it was really cool because she goes, but you're so blessed. And I go, you know what? You are so right, Tammy. Like so blessed. And I go, we're all healthy. The kids are, finding new friends and meeting new friends, and they're going out and playing. And my oldest is at a tennis academy that he absolutely loves. Things are good, right? Things are really good.
Yeah. The word that comes to mind is always perspective for me, because what we really say, and when we catch ourselves doing this, woe is me, it's like, okay, these are some real first world problems right now. Like, look, we have a roof over our head. We have food on the table. We are so blessed just to begin with. All right. Mm-hmm. So let's remember, but that's the whole idea of practicing an attitude of gratitude, is trying to keep that perspective, and it's not a comparison. Look, everyone has problems. That's a fact. I don't care if you live in a third world country or you are, let's say the richest human being on the planet, you have problems. That's just the way it is. But having perspective, that's part of this whole idea. So one of the things you talked about, the social life. So Trey is obviously just met a friend, and we've met a pretty cool family. And he came up today. He's like, hey, Dad, can you fix my bike to make sure it's ready to go? And I'm like, oh, sure, no problem. Why? Because so-and-so is going to come pick me up. We're going to go bike riding. And he's so excited about that. Mm-hmm. That's something to be excited about. So it improves your social life is one of the big keys with an attitude of gratitude. And it's because when you're happy, people like to be around you. No one wants to be around the Debbie Downer. So have you seen this in your own life?
Seen Debbie Downers in my own life?
Oh, of course you've seen
Yes.
Have you seen that when you are in a good space, when you are happy and you're showing that you're grateful, that attracts grateful people. That attracts positive people. But if you are that black cloud that is just ready to strike lightning and thunder, guess who's coming around? Negative people. So that's my question.
Totally. Actually, it happened last week. I was in a mood, and I don't know why, but I was in a mood, right? And I just kind of had this just negative attitude. You know, I was trying to keep it at bay. And what was funny was I was noticing that every place I went to, I was running errands, right? I'm trying to get pillows and all these things for the kids. And every person that I encountered, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're having a really bad day. And then I realized, well, no, I'm allowing myself to have a bad day. So therefore I'm attracting the worst checkout people, like everything. And maybe if I had a better attitude, they would have been happy too.
This is 100% accurate. And I don't care what people think that, that's just energy or what. It's true. You attract what you put out. So for instance, when you're having those bad days and all of a sudden you get in that car accident or you just about did, that's not could it be coincidental? Yeah. Could it be coincidental? Sure, it could. But typically you're not keeping your eyes out. You're not looking for things. Or a better maybe example is you won't see that opportunity go by. And they've done studies in Britain. They put a 20-pound note on the sidewalk. Those that said they were happy, 4 out of the 6 picked it up. Those that said they were unhappy, 0 out of the 6 picked it up on the same block just by having that happiness. So it's a real thing for sure. The other thing that it does is it improves your physical health. Now, do you have any idea why that would be?
No, but I know you're going to tell me. I'm sure there's some amazing scientific thing that James is all going to enlighten us with.
I'm not saying it's amazing, and I certainly don't know the study well, but it does reduce stress, which reduces and decreases inflammation. What does inflammation look like when it shows up in your body?
You're inflamed.
Yes, thank you. But
you start hurting.
It's red. It's painful. It swells. Nothing good is coming from inflammation. Look, you saw my ankle. It was inflamed greatly. And 3 days, that's all we talked about is you probably shouldn't go play pickleball because of your ankle. And I'm like, I'm going to go anyway. But the point is, you can reduce that in your body. So I'm just curious if you've ever personally experienced that.
I'm never inflamed, JM. Probably because I don't really exercise. So,
well, for those of you that do choose to exercise or would like to be healthier, it is shown to strengthen your immune system, reduce aches and pains, and lower your blood pressure, which, by the way, young lady, oh no, you have high cholesterol. Never mind. I guess
and that's genetic. So don't even go there with that. That's genetic.
And it also enhances sleep. So perhaps that could, although you've been sleeping really good.
Sleeping amazing here.
You know, it's interesting.
With no draperies.
That's what's interesting. So maybe you have been grateful. You've been practicing gratitude.
Super grateful.
And then lastly, it improves your mental health. So obviously this would be the one that, that makes sense because we are, you're seeing positive things. You're bringing that into your world. So do you have any other ideas or, again, you gave the example of where somebody gave you, you're so blessed. Mm-hmm. That is 100%. It changes your perception. Totally.
And I do that with others as well. I've noticed that. And it was really nice to have that said to me today. And because, I chat with my girlfriends and I'm their venting board and they come to me with their problems and I go, okay. And in the nicest way, right? Because sometimes when people are venting, you just kind of have to let them go. And you don't want to be like, oh, it's time for you to change your perspective because that's not going to go well. But I do in my own way, try to get perspective, try to give them a different perspective. Hey, maybe we look at it this way, right? And it kind of softens the blow and it kind of makes them go, okay, maybe I need to look at it a different way and be more positive about it.
There's an awesome quote, and I'm totally going to butcher it, but it comes to my mind so much when she said it. She's like, if you can't be content with what you have, you'll never have enough. Now, we're talking about somebody that, in terms of money, there is nothing she cannot reach, essentially, in this world. Maybe she can't go put her house on the moon. Maybe that's like one of the things Oprah can't do. But my point is, like, she even says, if you're not content and grateful for what you have today, you'll never have enough. And that always stuck and resonated with me. One of the other practices that I like to do is send out 3 texts to people that maybe I've lost touch with, or maybe I'm thinking about, and just send love. Do you do anything like that? Because I like to put those practices in play, not for them, by the way. It's for me. Sending that love but it's not for the response. It's for literally saying, you know what? I just want to let you know you made a great impact in my life at some point. And I was thinking about you.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. And so mine is more of I think when I see things out in the world, when I'm just out shopping or wherever, and something triggers and reminds me of that person, I will always take a picture and I shoot it to them and I go, hey, totally I saw this today, thinking about you. And it does. It really makes a world of difference, I think, in their world, that I'm thinking of them. And then for me as well, and then we connect and we start talking about other things, and it's really cool. So I do that all the time.
Yeah, one of the things that we also do that's kind of fun. It's kind of quirky, but go with it if you believe in numerology at all. So it's 11:11. I just looked at my phone. It's 11:11. And every time we get a little excited because it's like, oh, it's 11:11. It's 1:11. It's 2:22, 3:33. Because we believe that there are things that are looking out for us. It's kind of a sign. But I'm grateful to see that. That gets me excited. Does that really mean shit in the grand scheme of things? I don't know, but I believe it does. So right now it's going to be the best 11:11 I've had.
Yeah, totally. And a backstory to that was I was starting to see 9/11 a lot. I go, oh, is that like 911? Like I started getting scared. And so I actually called up, I call her my woo-woo doctor, but she's like, I check in with Heather once a month. I use her as my therapist, as my sounding board, everything, right? She's amazing for me. And so I asked her and she goes, no, these are angel numbers. I'm like, what are these angel numbers that you speak of? And so I Googled it. And literally, if you are seeing numbers that are repetitive, once again, I believe in it, but not everybody does. Google it. Like just go angel number 222. And it'll sit there and tell you that your spiritual guides or, whoever you believe is looking out for you is trying to send you a message. And it's pretty cool because I've gotten a lot over the last, I think I got 555 a lot over the last 3 months. And that was telling me trust in the process because I had a lot of, just reservations on moving across the country, a lot of fears of what ifs and things like that. And every time I would see it, I'd be like, okay, they're telling me to calm down. Everything's going to work out and to trust in the process. And so it was pretty cool.
I'm a big fan of it because I have a weird thing with numbers anyway. But I guess what I would leave everyone with, because I remember hearing about how important having this practice of gratitude was. But it was always too much. It was overwhelming because some of the advice was like, write down 10 things you're grateful for. And I'm like, dude, that's 10 things. That's a lot, man. So I just started with 3. That's what I do every day. I just write down the 3 things I'm grateful for. That's my journaling. That's part of my journaling. But I heard of somebody that does something really basic. Every morning when he wakes up, he says, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to wake up. Every time he goes to bed, he says, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to go to sleep. And I was like, that literally takes 10 seconds to do both together?
Right.
Everyone can do that.
Yeah.
So I hope people put it into play. And the last thing that, we do is every time we sit down with the kids as a family, we ask what are the 3 things you're grateful for. And I've loved that practice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to add on something that just happened this week. I thought it was really cool. So, I think it was just yesterday, actually. Trey had a assignment for school. He's remote learning right now, and he had an assignment for school, and it said it was Thanksgiving. And on every letter of Thanksgiving, you have to write what things that you're thankful for, right? And he asked me for help. And so it was really fun because we go, okay, T, turkey, right? Like tomahawk. Like we just kind of went through a whole bunch of T things that he's grateful for. And we laughed about a lot of things. But anyways, he got through it himself and he was grateful for things. And he got to H and he goes, hugs. I really nice, warm hugs. I go, oh my goodness. Like I knew he was always a lover and a hugger and he cuddles in the mornings, but he verbalized that. And what's crazy is that from that point forward, when he did that, I was like, I love hugs too. Every break he has from school, starting from yesterday and then this morning, every time he sees me, he comes and gives me the biggest hugs. And I just think that is the sweetest thing. And that's his gift to the world. I think he gives the best hugs ever.
I love that. And whenever you are upset, that's what he does. So it's interesting that he actually verbalized that. That's awesome. Well, I would like to hear about your guys' practice of gratitude, how you do it. Where can they send that to us, Lise? Because I love hearing from the audience what's going on, what's working for them, because that's what we want to hear so we can share it with the world. Yeah,
go ahead and, comment on our Facebook. Let's see, we got Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. And so our amazing marketing manager puts out some great stuff on social media. So make sure you comment. There's ways of winning free books, free audiobooks, all kinds of fun things. We'd love to hear from you. So comment as much as you can.
Yeah, please do. And I guess what I would say is, I'm grateful for you. Aww, I am definitely grateful for this audience. And yeah, man, I'm grateful we made it here safe and sound. And it's been so welcoming. So there's my 3 for today. I'll verbalize it into the microphone. You guys have an amazing week. We will talk to you next Tuesday. Continue transcending life. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to transcendentLifePodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Transcend in Life podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson, taking you from fear to freedom.